The Les Paul, one of my favorite guitars in the world. So versatile, has so many different things you can do with it, so many different tones you can get out of it. What I like to do is mess with the tone controls a little bit again. Let's start with the first pickup, and what I do is like put the tone on the first pickup like around 3, maybe 4, and you get those really early Eric Clapton kind of things. It's really, really good for soloing too, because you get those like kind of double stop things going. It kind of has that really cream kind of sound. So using the tone control, very, very versatile, and then you can put it all the way up and almost get like a single coil kind of sound. So there's so many different tones you can get just by working with the tone control here. Let's move on to the middle position. I have there's a little trick for a great solo sound that you do. Put both the tones all the way up, and put the guitar in the middle selector. And what you do is you kind of roll your volume off on the front pickup to like 5, and then put your lead volume up to 10. And you kind of get this like interesting kind of like solo sound. It's really versatile because it's not quite the lead pickup and it's not quite the front pickup, but it's in between, but it still has enough bite to do the job. Let's move on to the lead pickup. Lead pickup, again, you can either have it all the way up on 10. I like to run as a rule of thumb when I'm soloing. I like to run it around 7, maybe 8, and it kind of just takes a little bit of the top end off, and it kind of gets to that really nice soaring violin-y kind of sound. And if you're using like a cleaner amp with the lead pickup, you can get like those early Peter Green, Paul Kossoff sounds like. So it's really just depending on the amp that you're using and the tone, the way the tone controls are set for what you want to achieve. One of the things I want to talk about is the scale difference and the way the strings are spaced a little bit differently than from a Fender. If you're predominantly a Fender player like myself, it's kind of a shock the first time you play a Gibson. You got to kind of get used to the spacing. But I found a good way to do it is just it's where you put your hand on the guitar. Like for example, I rest my palm right here on the bridge, and it kind of, for me, it kind of recreates the scale and almost the feel of like a Fender Strat or a Tele. So that was one of the things that I did to like get over that, kind of a different way of playing these guitars. And the scale, you got to get a little bit wider here, in the D, G, B, and E strings, and just generally the whole guitar. So what you want to do is just kind of get used to that and just practice your picking and try to be accurate on it, because when you first start, you kind of miss a few notes. One of the things you can still do with the Les Paul is do the volume expression thing, but you only can do it on the front pickup only because that's the one you can reach. But it kind of takes a little bit of a reach, but you can still get it. So it's really kind of a cool trick when you're doing that, but you really have to extend your arm a little bit where the Strat is kind of here. But it's great for blues, it's great for rock. Depending on the kind of amp, I like to use like more of a plexi sound when I'm using Les Paul because it generally has more of a kind of a crunchy but yet warm early ZZ Top thing. So with the Les Paul, the real thing is to experiment with it. Try different amps, try different combinations. Try working with your tone control and your volume. Even with the volume, they don't all have to be on 10. So go out and experiment and have fun.